Hey there! In this video, we're going to be going over some apps that can actually make you money. These are proven, and again, this is not based upon theory or anything like that. There's 5 different apps here that I specifically use to figure out, okay, is it feasible? Do these things actually make you money? How much effort are you going to have to put in? I know there are a ton of apps out there, and a lot of them claim to be able to make you money, and I'm sure that they can. But these are the ones, like I said, I tested. I know for a fact there's money to be made there. Now, that being said, none of these are going to make you rich overnight. They're not going to make you a ton of money. They're simply a tool to supplement your income, or better yet, to leverage so that you can figure out how to make more money. Now, as I go through these 5 different apps that I tested, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what most people who actually follow through, those who actually use these apps, who actually make a little extra money, I'm going to tell you what most people would do with the money that they get from this stuff, and I'm going to tell you what I would highly recommend that you do if you really want to make it into something bigger than what it currently is, okay? So, right out of the gate, one of the apps I tested is actually called Field Agent. Now, this app requires a little bit more literal legwork in your part. Some of these apps, as we go through this, they require more effort, but they pay more. Some are you can do from the comfort of your couch, but you're not going to make nearly as much money. Fieldwork is an app that basically it's like a secret shopper app that you'll open it up and you'll be able to pick different jobs. You can kind of scroll through, see what's available at your local gas stations, restaurants, fast food places, Walmarts, things like that. And sometimes there's a product that they want you to look at, or sometimes it's a product that you want to test. Now, the nice thing about this is with this app, let's say that you're supposed to test a new chicken sandwich at this particular fast food restaurant that's down the street from you. You can actually go, you can purchase the sandwich, or maybe it's a product at Walmart or something like that. I did a couple that were different laundry detergents. You purchase it, and then you submit your receipt, so you actually get refunded for the item that you purchased. So whatever that item is, you get it for free. Plus, then they'll pay you to test it out and just give you a couple of sentences, all you have to say as to what it is you thought about this particular item. So usually you get a free product or something like that if it's a product test, and then you get paid. Or some of the other ones, they might pay a few dollars more, but it's just a couple of quick questions, or it might be taking a quick picture of a display, something like that. So again, I tested this out for a relatively short period of time, and the nice thing about it is if you're already going grocery shopping, if you're already going somewhere, you're going to be passing by, and you know that there's what they call emissions there, that it takes a couple of minutes to stop. You can actually see right over here, I actually, lifetime, again, I didn't do this very long, made a little over $100 because I wanted to test this and figure out how feasible is this to use. So again, pretty simplistic, pretty intuitive. It does take a couple of days to get paid out once the money actually hits the field agent account, so it's not going to be instantaneous, but again, it's more of a little supplemental thing, plus you can get free items or products or whatnot from time to time. One little thing with this is let's say you're going to go grocery shopping and you go, hey, you know what, there's a new kind of dish soap that I can get for free. I would highly recommend buying that item on a transaction all by itself, because if you just lump it in with all your other items you purchased, you'll get, let's say it costs $5.99. You'll get the $5.99 back. But if you purchase it by itself and just submit that receipt, you'll also be able to get the sales tax on that back too. So you get a little bit more money if you do it by itself in an individual transaction. All right, the next one is called Mobee. Now, Mobee is a little different. It's similar in the fact that emissions are going to pop up. They're all, they kind of vary all over the place. Some of these are worth $5, some of them are worth, $8, $9, $10, $12 kind of thing. And it's primarily like a secret shopper sort of setup. A lot of bigger stores, bigger chains or whatnot, you go in and they'll say, okay, take a picture of this display. Can you find this particular product? Is it there? What are your thoughts? It takes a couple of minutes. It's usually a multiple choice kind of situation. You will have to upload some pictures. It's relatively easy to do. The only thing with the Moby app that I'm not as crazy about, not that this is a big deal for a lot of people, but this one doesn't actually pay out into your bank account like Field Agent will. This pays out in gift cards, and they've got gift cards for Amazon, for eBay, for Walmart, Target. I mean, most places that you would shop. I mean, you can donate it to charity and stuff like that. There's a slew of different places, but it has to be in even dollar amounts. You can't pull out $27.50. You'd have to do a $25 gift card and then have the other $2.50 or whatever it is sitting there until you can do another gift card of some kind. So nothing wrong with that. It's just one of those things to be aware of, that it is going to pay out in usually e-gift cards, so you can actually just get it sent to you right away as soon as you submit it for your Mobee rewards, is what they call them. You get that. Now again, if you're doing it places you're already going to shop, it's basically like free money in your pocket. kind of thing. So there's really no reason to do this, but you are going to have to get up and actually submit some things and send some pictures out and stuff like that. And it's not something, again, not going to make you a ton of money, but if you're already going grocery shopping and there happens to be something there, periodically they'll do what they call gold missions. I don't know why they do them this way, but they sometimes will double in value or whatnot, so you can make a little bit of extra money in a relatively short period of time. All right, the next app is called Inbox Dollars. Now, this by far I would say is the easiest app to use because you can do it anywhere, anytime. It's just basically filling out surveys, and in a lot of instances you could probably just pencil whip a lot of these surveys. Not saying you should, but you could. Now, the nice thing is that, like I said, is that it's very little effort. If you're gonna be wasting time anyway, if you're gonna watch a TV show, you're waiting in the doctor's office, or you're on public transit and you got nothing better to do, you can just pull your phone out and answer some of these surveys. If there's a ton of referral codes or whatnot out there that basically they're like, we'll give you your first $10 for free. Now, they usually wait, I don't know exactly what the number is because it can change or vary, but it might be $20 or $25 before you can actually cash out. That way people don't just get the $10 and leave. But these surveys, there's some 2 or 3 qualifying questions usually at the front end because you're not going to necessarily qualify for every survey. Sometimes they're for specific demographics. The downside to this app is the surveys, sometimes they pay 25 cents, sometimes it's $1. I mean, it's pretty darn low dollar amounts. This is definitely an app that requires the least amount of effort, but it also by far pays the least amount. I think that, again, I played around with this and what have you. I think I cashed out at like $48.10 or something like that, where I just said, okay, I proved for a fact that I know this works, but again, it's the least lucrative of all of them. It takes a little bit longer and you don't make quite as much money, but again, the effort is considerably less. So something to consider. All right, the fourth app that I want to talk about, you might have heard about this one because it's relatively popular, but it is different in the fact that you're not doing missions or filling out surveys. This is the Ibotta app. Now, this is really useful if you use it correctly. And that is that basically it's got advertisers will pay money to Ibotta or what have you, and if you buy their product, you go onto their, and it's available on the app, you can get a refund or a rebate. Now, sometimes that makes these products free, which is great. You can actually go in and say, hey, check out my local grocery store or Walmart or whatever, and just filter and say, what are the free products? And these are basically, you buy the product, you submit the receipt, and you get that money back. So free products are great. What some people will do is they'll go through and they'll say, oh, look, I get 25 cents back on a Snickers candy bar. But they weren't intending to buy a Snickers candy bar anyway. So they pay $1 for the Snickers candy bar, they get 25 cents back. That's not the best way to make money at this, obviously. You either want to either stick to things that are going to be free or use it for things that you're already buying. Now, there are referral codes out there as well that the first time you use this, they'll put $10 into your account right away. Again, I think you have to hit about $20 before you can actually cash out. But this is one of those things that if you're already shopping, if you're really, really intentional about it, you might be able to put a little extra money in your pocket. But if you're already shopping, you're leaving money on the table if you're not using something like this. You can see right over here that, again, I don't use it religiously. Again, I'm not super intentional about it, but I wanted to see, is it practical? And about $200. Again, free money on stuff that I was already going to be purchasing anyway, or stuff that I ended up getting for free. It's kind of tough to argue with free money. It's my favorite kind. Some of these apps, you can see I haven't even cashed out recently into them, just because I just sometimes will let it build up. So again, this one is more of a long-term play, and it's more about capitalizing on the money that you're already spending. So by letting it build up, sometimes it's a little easier to feel good about pulling some of those different withdrawals and whatnot. So the fifth one that I want to talk about, I saved for last. For me, it was definitely the most lucrative. Now, the only reason that I saved it for last is because there have been some problems recently. Even in the last couple of weeks, it was up and running. There were articles written about it literally 3 weeks ago, but I tried to log into mine so I could pull some screenshots, and it was giving me an error message, and when I undownloaded it, tried to re-download it, wasn't in the App Store. So I think they had some problems about a year ago. I think they're having some problems again. So take this one with a grain of salt, but it's called Easyshift. Easyshift is very much like the field agent, only it does on a whole pay a fair bit more. Now, as you first start, you can reserve one job at a time kind of thing, and you do a couple of jobs, you get points. Those points will allow you to once you reach a certain amount of points, you can actually reserve multiple jobs. So that way you can say, okay, I want this one, this one, this one, this one. You can bounce, do a quick loop or what have you. These, like I said, these pay in directly to your bank account, or you can do a direct withdrawal, very much like Field Agent, but they do pay a little bit more. I would say, I think I did it one time, and I was making about $20 an hour, which is, for a lot of people, that's a nice little side hustle that they can do, kind of thing. I pulled in a little over $1,000 with this app, and it took a little while to do that. And again, there were days I just had nothing going on that I would just do a loop, or I just wanted to get out of the house, or again, maybe I was just already grocery shopping, or going to go to the liquor store. And it took, by some of these jobs, it's the same job over and over and over again, just at a different location. There were a lot of liquor stores by me at the time. It paid $9. I was in and out in 5 minutes. I'd snap a couple pictures of a couple displays, submit the pictures, and you do that for an hour, and all of a sudden you've made, an hour or two, you've made $50 kind of thing. So that's, again, I like this one because it does seem to pay some of the most, money wise. Now, it's not available in every country. It's not, sometimes it's a little sporadic in the availability of jobs. Sometimes there's clusters of jobs around you, and sometimes there's not. So there's that to consider as well. The reason it worked well for me is because I was in an area where there were a lot of jobs clustered. If that may or may not work for you, but the Easyshift app, like I said, it does pay considerably more. Instead of $5 to $7, it's in $9 to $12 in a lot of these instances. I'm getting paid $25 to $30 in some of these, just because they're places that people just didn't go, and they're little big grocery stores. I don't know why people weren't going to them, and they just needed the information. So again, an extra $1,000, even if it takes you a little while to do, that can be relatively valuable to you. So these 5 apps are, again, 5 that I specifically tested that I know for a fact can actually generate some money. Now, you might be looking at this going, well, you got $40 on this one, Grant, you got $100 on that one, you got $200 on this one, you got $1,000 on that one. That's pretty good. Honestly, the Mobee app, I don't even remember. I probably had about $75 in gift cards. I'm not good about using gift cards, so I didn't stick with that one nearly as long. But that's none of that's going to change your life. But again, if it's things that you're already doing, don't miss the opportunity. Don't leave money on the table. You're already doing the work. You're already going to the grocery store. You're already going to that gas station, or whatever the case may be. You might as well pick up a couple extra bucks while you're there. Now, some are going to say, well, a couple extra bucks is not going to make that big of a difference to me, and you're not going to do anything with it, and that's fine. Honestly, a couple extra bucks, in my financial situation, an extra $100, $200 doesn't mean much of anything. So again, I do these to prove that they can actually work, but it's not about the money you get from them. It's about what you do with that money. So those of you who've actually stuck with me to the end of this video, and you say, okay, I'm going to do this. Maybe you pick 1 or 2, or maybe you pick all of these and you download them and you figure out what you like, what you don't like, but you make some money. Now, some people will take that money and they will use it towards, maybe that's your fun money, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're like, hey, listen, I really want to buy this new video game, or I really wanted to pick up this new purse or new pair of shoes. I'm going to save up and whatnot. And you use that money for that. That's your prerogative. There's nothing wrong with that, because this is kind of like bonus money anyway. If you're going to use it to buy that sort of thing, that's your choice. But if you really want to do something with this, yes, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there is not going to dramatically change your life. The truly successful people who see this, see an opportunity here, and they use this to start generating some of that additional income, you're going to need to take that income and you're going to need to leverage it into something else that is going to make you more money. Don't buy stuff with it. Don't buy liabilities, buy assets, buy things that are going to generate more money for you. So, and I've got some other videos that are going to be coming out, different ways that you can buy something and turn around and sell it for more money. When you do that, it's a little bit less work once you understand what you're doing, but it doesn't take nearly as much of your time, but you need to have some money to be able to buy some of this stuff in the first place, or whatever the case may be, or you got to be able to invest in this, that, or the other. Now, for those of you who are saying, oh, I don't have the money to do that kind of stuff right now, I get it. That can be a tough financial situation. But if you do these things, take this money, set aside specifically, and say, we're going to only use this money to invest in something that's going to make us more money. Again, in one of the videos I'm going to show you, I bought maybe $1,000 worth of stuff, and I turned around and I was able to make about $500-600 profit in about a couple of weeks kind of thing. Or somewhere something else, I invested about $150 into some equipment, and over the course of about a year and a half, passively it paid me about $1,500 kind of thing. Again, even that's not a ton of money, but this is the money from these apps, this should really be designed to be your seed money. This is the money that's you're going to leverage into other things, and then that's why I'm going to create some other videos and show you how to do that. But again, should you decide, hey, I just want this to be my fun money or whatever, that's you. But if you really want to take this to the next level, you need to leverage that money. So if you want to see what some of those other videos are going to be, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can catch those as soon as they come out. And again, this is stuff I've actually done and I can actually show you for a fact works. But the other videos that we do on this channel, basically it's designed to help give you the edge in life. Whether it's, how do you interview a little bit better? How do you, get a little bit more energy out of your day? How do you do this? How do you do that? Just give that little extra edge. And if that's what you're looking for, just in collective areas of your life, if it's just money, that's fine. But if you're looking for better relationships, if you're looking for better energy, if you're looking for better opportunities, any of that stuff, that's what we really focus on this channel here. So click the subscribe button. If you know some other people that could really benefit from this, or if you decide, hey, I'm going to download one of these apps and just test it out, give us a comment, click the like button. That's always appreciated. And we will go ahead and see you guys in the next video.